Attention bobsled riders! You will soon be embarking on a thrilling podcast down the icy slopes of the Matterhorn, so please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the bobsled at all times. Auf Wiedersehen!
Hello, Yoders! We are the Matterhorn Yoders. I'm your host today, Jackie, and we have...
Chiefus.
And...
I heard there's a good place to complain about the Disney parks. I'm Bob Chapek. Is this a good place?
Bob.
We're not complaining about severance packages. All right.
Today we're hopping on the popular trend on TikTok.
What, the popular trend that was like 6 months ago?
Yeah, totally. We're very late in the trends.
The trends are really slow getting to the mountain.
And we're gonna be talking about our Disney Icks, and some may be like, what is a Disney Ick? And it's just, a Disney Ick is something that just gives you I don't know how to explain it, where you roll your eyes.
You just don't like it.
Yeah, you just don't care for it.
So there's going to be a lot of complaining.
That's
Yeah.
why Bob came out to visit. He's like,
Bob
I want to share about my complaints. There's not enough money being made.
It would be pretty entertaining
There's
to
too many free
to
things.
hear Bob Chapek's Icks after leaving the Disney company.
Yeah, while he's
Oh.
sitting on the beach with a Mai Tai. You know,
Yeah.
With his 25 million?
Yeah. So I'll start with some of my Disney Icks. And that is...
Is it Disney Parks we're only talking about Icks, or is it Disney in general? Because I only did Disney Parks.
Yeah, Disney Parks.
Okay,
State of the Union really hit upon everything else.
we did.
Yeah.
Go back, listen to our State of Disney episode. Very good one. And you really get
Yes.
to hear our real opinions about what's happening with the Disney company.
Yeah. I'll start with an easy one, turkey legs. It gives me the eggs. I see them and it's just like, no.
They smell good.
They smell...
They smell good. They look good. And then you get them in your hand and you're all like, and you start eating it and you're like, this was a bad
Yeah.
idea. It's like you start biting it and I'm like, I'm already done. And I still have this giant turkey
And then you get in
leg.
line and the cast member's like, you got to throw it away.
Yep.
That was my favorite thing. They sold turkey legs by us at the Haunted Mansion, and they'd always show up like brand new, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you can't take that into the queue.
And they just spent like $12
Yeah.
on that.
Oh yeah, probably at the time it was $12, but it was one of those things like, oh good, you got a turkey leg, let me turn you down. It's like you could sit out here and eat it while your family, and you could catch up with your family in line. I'd always give them that option.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. And then, like, watching people eat them in the parks, it's not a very pleasant food to watch people eat. They're just, like, total savages towards it.
Hey, all right. I don't criticize you while you eat, all right? It's with the beard now.
Yeah.
It's like anytime you eat something, everyone just looks at you just all like, where are your manners? And like, everyone becomes very prissy where they put on a little like napkin in their shirt and stuff like that. It's like, oh, I'm better than you. And it's like, well, I'm sorry.
All right, Peter, what's a Disney ick for you?
For me, a Disney ick would be, and this is for the most part for a few different parks, but dead ends. I hate when Disney parks you meet a dead end where you can't go any further. Disneyland was designed to be this spoken wheel kind of design where like you can easily flow through the entire park.
So you hate Toontown?
Yes.
Toontown, what is it? Like Frontierland and
For a long time, it
for
was
Disney
where
World?
Critter Country,
Yeah.
where it dead ended there. So you'd have to you walk all the way there for one attraction and have to walk back the opposite direction. You create that bottleneck. Same thing with Sunset Boulevard at Hollywood
Oh,
Studios.
yeah, it's a dead end. It's cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
And so and the old animation courtyard, dead end. So that's one of those things that I really don't like.
Studios is poorly how you maneuver. You're like,
Does
where
not-
am I?
It's a lot better now that with Galaxy's Edge and Toy Story Land, they kind of do have that circular motion, except for Sunset and that whatever that courtyard, the old animation courtyard. I don't know what they call that courtyard anymore. The courtyard of no attractions.
Yeah, there's really nothing.
Little Mermaid's still closed. You still got Star Wars launch bay, where you can look at some Star Wars props, and then the Disney Junior dance party thing. That's all that's there.
I see it really being hard for them to jumpstart the Little Mermaid because you got to get all those people that learn puppetry and relearn everything, and a lot of those people
they let
left.
all the puppetry people go.
Yeah,
it's hard to jumpstart something like that again after you're like, sorry, entertainment, you're on your own, and it's just like
they had to cut the Finding Nemo show down.
Yeah, that was such a disappointment when they did that. But that's my ick. Dead ends in Disney parks.
Yeah.
So
dead ends.
So I was happy when at Disneyland when they completed the loop around Rivers of America with Galaxy's Edge, so you can walk
all around it.
That's
nice.
Mine's soggy churros. Do you know where I'm at?
World?
Yes.
Yeah, Disney World.
I don't know what it is. You get to there's no churros. But once you find a churro,
you're like, yes, a Disney churro, and you're like,
they're like at Hollywood Studios, I think.
Are they? It was the only place you can get them was like the Mexican Pavilion. You're like, all right, churros, I'm back at Disneyland, and you get it, and you're like, it's soggy. You're like, why is this soggy? No idea. Maybe it's the humidity, but it's just they cook them all in advance. But it was just the most disappointing thing is to get a soggy churro. If you were one of those people that grew up at Disneyland.
Oh, yeah.
I think they are pre-cooked at Disney World.
And they just get stale.
Yeah.
I just hate it. It's just... Ick.
People that stop in the middle of the walkway, like right in front of you.
Yep.
Like you're on
a busy road.
You're going down going to Jungle Cruise, and then someone just stops right there to look at their phone or look at the park map.
Especially first thing in the morning when everyone's kind of crammed at rope drop and it's go, and then everyone's going, and then someone with a stroller just stops.
Because one kid throws their little mini merchandise and they gotta stop and pick it up, and you're like, oh no.
Or the people that are they're walking down the main street, and then they stop to take a photo.
Oh yes, stopping
down the
picture.
Street, and you're like, ugh.
You're like, you totally.
It's rope drop. Can you
pull
come
to the
back?
Side.
Come back in 3 hours to take that photo.
Yeah, and that's just the Disney amateur that's not used to it, and you're coming at it
I know,
mission planned. I've been here. This is my 45th time in the park. Yeah, I could definitely see how that's happening. To hit upon the strollers, hitting in the back of the ankle with a stroller.
Yes, I put on my list aggressive stroller pushers, where it's just crowded and they will just push through a crowd and they have no mercy for the heels.
Yeah, the ankles. That's
same with the ECVs.
I think the ECV ones are the ones that are worse.
Oh. Those are
major.
Those are major icks for me. ECVs.
I you don't want to discriminate people with ECVs, but there's one group of people sticking grandma who hasn't driven a car in probably 15 years and going, you know what? We're gonna put you in a lawless walking area, and we're just gonna have you drive where everyone's going anywhere at any point, and we're just gonna have you scoot your little scooter around. And man, I've seen a grandma just roll over 3 people. I thought I was braking. And it's just we would just scream take your hands off everything. And they'd be like, ah! And all you get the people going oh, I'm so sorry. She can't see very well.
Why are you putting her on a scooter?
And it's one of those things
you should be pushing her.
If you can't, it's just you should be pushing her. But it's, and I've had a buddy whose college program lady did not like being told no, she couldn't go past the line. She took the ECV and weaponized it and broke his ankle. He spent the rest of his college program gluing Duffys on a stick.
Yeah,
just
terrible.
And yeah, she got kicked out of the park, and I'm sure she didn't get. But it's but she ruined that cast member's college program.
Yeah,
that, or he was already working at
right
Imagination.
Right. wearing those lab coats.
Yeah.
Can I say Davy Crockett canoes? Ugh.
Why do you hate them?
I don't know. It's just that anytime I see them, and I'm like, no, thank you.
It's similar to the churro thing. No, the turkey leg thing. It looks cool. You're like,
Yeah.
whoa, that's awesome. You like watching it happen, like people canoeing around the river. You're like, that's awesome. And then you get in that boat and start rowing. You're like, I'm done.
I've never had that feeling. I thought it was always fun.
It's all dependent on who you have at the head of your canoe. If you've got a funny explorer with you, cast member, it makes the journey. But if you've just got a person that's just all like, all right, just keep rowing, just go, then it's kind of like, I'm done.
Yeah.
But props to the cast member in the back of the canoe because they're the ones doing all the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
They're usually bigger, like
Oh,
stronger.
Oh yeah.
They're burly.
So, mine is the Tomorrowland entrance at Disneyland.
Oh.
That's probably one of my biggest icks.
Yeah, I've always bashed on Tomorrowland. It's always like, ugh.
The location of Astro Orbiter is in the worst possible location ever, and it needs to go back the way it was.
Put it on top of the building.
Put it on top of the
Make
building.
it scarier.
Make it scarier and out of the way because bottlenecks. That
it is.
bottleneck
It's
is
Yeah,
tough.
it
it's
is
so bad.
It's worse than Adventureland.
Yeah, Adventureland just goes.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like once you're in Adventureland, you just move.
You just flow, and if you can't handle it, you jump into the stores
Right.
and you maneuver that.
Yeah.
But like the Tomorrowland entry point is horrible. The rest of the land, free movement, but like that section when you get past Star Tours, Astro Orbiter, and Buzz Lightyear, walking past those three attractions.
Parade dump is the worst at that
Parade
point.
Oh,
is
yeah.
the worst right there. Absolutely. And so, yeah, I hate that so much.
While we're in Tomorrowland, the Tomorrowland train stop, it's the worst.
It is the
train
worst. It is the
stop.
worst.
You have
train
this
stop.
like awesome part, or you're in the park, and then you're like train station. And the worst part is there's no one there to let you know the
No.
train's not showing up.
When we
No.
were at the
Gumball Rally.
Gumball
Oh,
Rally, we
man.
got stuck there for like 20
Not
minutes.
knowing that the train was not
down.
coming
Yeah.
at all. Like there was no cast members at the train station, which was weird.
There's
you would think
never cast members there.
It just at least put some sort of clock in then like next arrival and just say like down.
Yeah.
Just something to let them like closed just
I
to
just-
help with
I feel
timing.
like it's a train stop that like no one likes to use or go.
well, everyone like nobody like there's never nobody gets off at
No.
Tomorrowland. They always get off of Main Street or
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Toontown's one of those like
Toontown's a pickup location.
it is pickup.
Yeah.
People
I
get
picked up
picked
so many
there.
girls there. Hey, where you going?
Main Street.
I'll give you a ride. Yeah, I agree.
It's just like I don't know. I see it. I'm just like nah. Especially after the Gumball Rally,
Yes.
that station that event just ruined it for me. Yeah,
Because I think all the other stations have cast members.
they do.
But not that
it's
one.
just this. Blah.
I've never seen a cast member at Tomorrowland train station.
There's really no theming. It's this weird thing where like, you have a train station that stops off in Tomorrowland.
well, and it's
It's
like
hidden.
it's tucked in the back.
Like you have to know it's there in
Yeah.
order to like go on it. Like, cause like it's not like it's seen because it's tucked behind Autopia and behind the giant building that needs to be demolished.
Yeah.
But won't be anytime soon.
Well, it's California.
Yeah.
They don't demolish anything there. They leave it there because they just don't want to deal with like the
Pretty much.
inspections. While we're in that area, I'm just gonna say Autopia smell. Just I hate the
yeah,
exhaust.
the exhaust smell.
Let me smell a lawnmower for 45 minutes in a line and get a foot cramp because I'm trying to keep the pedal down.
Yes.
That ride's just like, ugh. but just kids love it.
The
little kids, it's the
that's
best.
who it's meant for, and they love every moment of it. My kids have so much fun on that ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember doing the same thing, and you're just like, ugh, it's my turn to be miserable like my parents.
Yep.
When people wear ponchos on Splash Mountain, I'm just like,
Are
embrace.
you talking about mom and dad?
In general, it's just like, when people wear ponchos, I'm like, if you're going on Splash, just embrace getting wet.
No, because mom and dad don't. Like, they wear, like, they bring specialty
I
wet
know.
clothing or, like, wet gear to
I know,
protect
it
them.
gives me ick.
You just don't like it.
I
when you
just
do
don't
that.
care for
I think
it.
it's smart. You know, you don't want to be all soggy
Well,
for the rest of your
especially
day.
with our parents, they like to go first thing in the morning, so they want to make sure they're not soaked for the first 3 hours of the
Nah.
day.
Cold or two.
Doesn't bother me.
Okay. All right. While we're in Splash Mountain, ick is putting your hands up when it's not
Photos.
your, for photos.
Blocking the
Blocking
photos.
other people that are not part of your party.
That's the case.
That's so
on
selfish.
Splash Mountain, on Guardian /
Snow
Tower
White.
of Terror.
The minecart ride.
Yep. Snow
Yeah.
White.
My wife was notorious. She
Everest.
was like, woo! And every
Everest
picture
isn't-
was like me with her hand in my face.
Right.
And I was like, you jerk.
I think Everest. I don't think you really get that too much in Everest. The way you're angled when they take that photo.
Because you look at you when you're going down.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And you have the
Blocking.
harness over your head. You're
Yeah.
like, you can't.
So be kind, and if you want to put your hands up for
Just
a photo,
go
just
low.
low hands. Low hands.
What was it? Green zone? Green zone was to keep
Oh,
your
yeah,
arms in.
Green zone, not
Yellow
yellow.
zone, red zone.
Yeah.
That was always the thing. Like, I was like, I learned a lot. That was probably the biggest thing I learned was like how to put your groceries in the car. It was green zone.
Green. Keep it green. Keep it tucked in.
I'm gonna say I'm mad at Disney World, ick, for not having chimichangas.
Chimichangas.
No chimichangas.
I love
You
getting-
want soggy chimichangas?
No, they can just deep. Yeah, they could screw that up too, couldn't they?
Yeah,
They would do that.
they would.
They would just deep fry. Yep.
Oh, I deep fried at 7 a.m. Should be perfect at 2 p.m. after 97% humidity. You get it, and it's like, bloop.
For me, one of my icks is, the food festivals, right?
Yeah.
In any of the parks, in California Adventure, in Epcot,
Don't
wherever.
say eating on trash cans.
No.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
I
People
don't
do
have a problem with
that.
that. It's two things. One, how much it costs with the portion size.
Oh, you're paying for a little
You
appetizer
they're
bite.
like,
It's like
yes,
$7.
Here's $7 for one bite. It's like it's good, but it's like what?
The pricing can be
Like
pretty
I want to
extreme.
enjoy the food, but like I can get a whole meal here for $7.
It does. There's always. It's like, if the price is too high, it'll ruin the eating experience, and that's usually the case for most Disney restaurants. You're like, you eat the plate, and you're like, well, that was a good $12 dish, but it cost me $40,
Yeah.
and you're just like kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
And the food and wine tends to do that. But it gives you a chance to try like small portions, like the Norwegian food, where like, oh, lingonberries and like fermented fish, and you're just like, well, I'm glad I didn't get a big portion of that.
Can I say, so you get a good spot at the parade, and then you get those last minute people that show up and they get in your bubble, and their kids are like all up in your groove,
Ugh.
and you're just like, I waited a lot longer to get a good spot in the parade, and then you just come in last minute
And snuck your way through.
and snuck your way in and disturbing my enjoyment because you are in my bubble.
Yeah, the cast members won't do anything about
No.
it. They care less about your experience when it comes to the show.
See, me, I actually hate the people that wait 3 hours
I'm
to
not
reserve
saying
a spot.
3 hours.
Well,
They bring out the blankets and
yeah,
like
those
space
people.
heaters.
Fresh. That's an ick for me. Are those people that just like because they make it so that you can't enjoy a show or a parade without wasting
A
2
part
hours
of
of
your
your day waiting for a 10-minute parade to walk by, or waste your evening waiting for a good spot for the fireworks or Phantasmic or whatever it might be.
So what's your solution for it?
Well, my solution would be just
Hour
pure-
at max.
I think an hour would be the most time that, like,
You have security coming around with their
yeah,
little
you have cast members being like, hey, you can't. This is not a stopping location. This is a movement location.
Yes.
An hour
and, like,
before,
1 hour, then you could do it.
then you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Because you get the
Fantasmic,
people-
you would just be like chilling out there for
Well,
like
you get the
3-4
people that
hours.
camp out on the Pirates Bridge.
Oh no, ick.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just like, it's horrible.
Disney toilet paper. That's a major egg. It is the worst toilet paper. I get it, because they gotta provide toilet paper for everyone.
There was one place where Mexico's pavilion had a better toilet paper.
Did they?
I think so. When I was at Epcot, I was like, oh, this is a step up. It's not much better, but it was like enough where I go, oh, that was a more pleasant experience.
I mean, as an adult now, when I go to Disney Park, I bring my own toilet paper stash.
You know, if you want to make money in the parks, have an underground.
You want to buy some?
Want to buy some toilet paper?
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
I got 2 ply. I got 3 ply. What do you need?
You just go around and you start knocking on the doors like, you want better toilet paper? Venmo this $5. You toss it over.
That's funny.
I'm gonna complain about the China and Canada show pavilions. No chairs.
Oh,
have to
yeah.
stand- I have
the
to stand and
Circle
watch-
Pavilion. Yeah.
And the Circle Vision shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just get in there and you're just like, and then you get these arm rails and you're like, I'll sit on that. Don't sit on the handrails. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Just put
like,
some chairs.
might as well, like, if we're not supposed to, like do anything with those handrails, just get rid of them and just have, like, this open space.
Yeah.
where-
Yeah.
Like, why not? Just have the open space where people can.
you couldn't even sit down. You're not even allowed to sit down.
No,
too.
you're not.
No.
They're like,
I was
"So-"
like, they really should just like put chairs in there that like rotate all around.
Imagine everyone's like, oh man, that was awesome. Oh no, I'm turning around. Like everyone's just getting.
Everyone's gonna get busy. There's gonna be open-ended
Yeah.
trash cans at the end of that show.
It'd be slow moving. Yeah. Well, getting sick, I'm going to throw out boat ride back from Magic Kingdom to the parking lot.
Oh.
The boat of doom, like it's just hot and
Boat
sticky.
ride and the monorail wait.
Oh yeah, you're just
Oh.
like,
Like, just
Just
leaving
leaving the
Magic
park?
Kingdom is the worst if you've parked at TTC.
Waiting for the bus is worse, especially if you're at a value.
At Disney World, yes.
Yeah, at Disney World. That's the worst.
yeah, no. At that boat ride, I just think it's just like, oh man, this is how it felt to be on the Mayflower.
It's just like no one's happy.
Oh, it is just, and it's just hot. It's just miserable. And just like how people like cattle in,
Right.
and just it's just aggressive, and that fight for like a seat.
Yeah.
It's a rough go. Yeah, like we timed our leave on our trip to Disney World right like at the beginning of the fireworks show. So there was nobody. And lucky enough for us, like we didn't have to take the boat or the monorail. The buses were right there, right at the entry point to the
As-
Magic Kingdom, so we didn't
As
have to
a
take it.
cast member at Disney World, if you were going to Magic Kingdom, you had to either leave before the fireworks show or wait like 2 to 2.5 hours until the next cast member bus came to pick you up, because they
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
have any buses come back there
So you
because
watch
of the
the fireworks.
fireworks. And so it would be the longest wait. I remember I'd go to like Contemporary and take a nap.
I never had that issue working there. But again, my hours were like, I always planned to where like I want to be the last shift, to where I take lost and found, to where most part everyone's left. I've only had a
Yeah.
handful of times where I had to wait for the bus.
Right.
But I think I kind of knew like the horror of everyone getting on to the buses
Yeah.
late and the fireworks, trying to plan that out.
That was awful. I hated that. I'm gonna take us out of Disney a little bit, but people who wear like Minnie Mouse ears at Universal, I think it's so weird. Who wear like Minnie Mouse ears and
I get
at
it.
Universal.
I get it. My son, he kind of frustrated me. He wanted to wear his Donald Duck hat to Legoland. And then he decided he didn't want to wear it anymore. So who had to wear it? I had to wear
You
it.
had to wear the
And
Donald
so-
Duck.
All the other
Cast members spit
all
on
the
you.
employees at Legoland are like, hey, we got our own duck themed hats here. It's like, yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Here, you want me to show you the bird? That's what I think of your stupid hats. I've got 2 of them. They're in my pocket. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I remember seeing that at the park where people would wear their Universal shirts.
Yeah.
There was like thing 1 and thing 2.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
You bought the shirts yesterday, you'll wear them. But
You go in. I that's one of the things. Like I just don't. I mean, I get for some people who aren't Disney like fanatics.
we
like
are big
we
snobs about
Oh,
We are.
for sure.
Total- we're
I
being-
mean, this whole
Oh
episode.
my.
We're being
clean.
Disney. We are definitely being Disney adults
This
here.
is
We're-
pure Disney
we're
adult
gatekeeping.
episode.
We are.
Um,
You shall not pass with your thing 1 shirt.
but I always plan out like which shirt I'm gonna wear to which park. Be like, okay, I'm wearing my Star Wars one, so I'm gonna wear this one on this day.
When I go to Disneyland for Galaxy
or
Edge,
if it's Hollywood Studios, or I'm gonna wear this shirt for Epcot. Like I have it like planned out as to
Yeah.
which shirt I'm gonna wear for which day. But like to see people, it's like I'm wearing Six Flags. It's like really like all right.
What are your feelings on like the matching family shirts?
I
That's
bought
fine.
them matching family
Yeah, you
shirts
did,
for.
yeah.
But like it's like
I thought they were cute.
Yeah, you
It's
did.
like the monogram ones.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I think they're fine.
I think
It's
it's fine.
a lot of people don't like them.
It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I think it's good for families to like theme that way.
And it's gonna be a memory they hold on to. Will they keep the shirts? Probably not. They'll probably end up throwing them away because they're. Why donate a shirt that has
So-
your family's name
And
written
they did
all
that for the
over it?
gumball rally. Like,
Yeah.
Father
Yeah.
Yoder got us those shirts, and I wore it once, and I gave it back to Dad, going, I'm probably never gonna wear this shirt. And he's like, oh, I'll keep it.
I wear it when I do my like yard work and things like that.
It had the slithering toe, like
Yeah,
the
slidey
slidey toe.
toes.
slidey toe. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna bring us back in the park. Disney burgers.
Oh yeah, they're the worst. They're so bad.
Do not.
It's
do
like,
not.
do you want to try
Burgers and pizza.
It's so bad.
I've never been impressed with either one of their burgers or pizzas.
Ever since I saw the garbage can full of like burgers at the end of Pecos Bill, I remember just like looking. I was like, "That is a garbage can full of hamburger patties that have been cooked already." I was so grossed by that. I've just never bought. I've never eaten a hamburger again in the park.
Yeah, they're just so bland. There's just
It's
nothing
just like going
there.
like they boiled it. And then they're like, "All right, now we'll sprinkle some barbecue like
And
flavor."
it's like the hamburgers are like cooked early on in the morning and they just last all day.
Just heat them up, and it's just like
They're so dry.
it takes me back to like that gross cafeteria food.
Yep,
You're
absolutely.
like, it's burger day, and you're like, great. Ugh.
Bland, dry burgers. Mm.
Can I say condiment bars in Disney parks? I think they got rid of them during COVID, but beforehand when they had condiment bars,
I think they brought it back.
I think they were disgusting.
What was disgusting about it?
Well, just like how they have like, especially like Pecos Bills, they would have like, I don't know, they had like lettuce and guacamole and like salsa.
Is it the maintenance? Like people are mixing
just
them?
the
and...
people like self-serving?
Okay, so you don't like people managing it.
No. I'm like, have individual packets or a cast member controlling it because
I think that
Ugh.
would be wise to do that.
it's gross. No, thank you. I do not trust, some guests that are in the park managing their own condiment bar.
Can I throw, while we're still with food, seagulls that attack you with your food.
That's a Florida thing.
That is such a Florida thing.
It is.
You're just like eating your fries, and you'll have one bird come on one side, and the other one's like, "Gotcha!" And they'll like snatch your food, your fries, and you're like, "Well, I can't touch this food anymore."
It's like Magic Kingdom around dinner time.
4 o'clock.
The birds are flying low.
Frontierland is the worst.
It is. Pecos
And
is a.
It's like, if you really pay attention next time you're at Magic Kingdom and you see all the birds like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, they are low, and it looks like a horror like
You
bird
have to
film.
prison protect your food. And you're like eating it fast, like, oh no, here they come.
I gotta seek shelter.
They really should make a Disney movie on that of birds at Magic Kingdom.
Just remake the movie The Birds, but just at the Disney parks.
Yeah.
Ah!
Peter, do you have any?
I'm gonna say that this is more like it is park based,
Yeah.
but it does. It's something I have an issue with is merchandise. They now sell park merchandise online. I liked having the park have its own merchandise that you can only get at the park. And that's not as common as it used to be.
Well, the reason why they do it is one of my ex resellers.
Yes.
And
Oh man,
They
eBay's
were
the
the
worst. Like you cannot. They're so ruthless on there. To where you're like,
They ruined merchandising for the end of Splash Mountain.
yeah.
Because
yeah.
at Disney World, there was no merchandise for sale on the last day for Splash Mountain. The only thing that you could get Splash Mountain themed were the pressed pennies. And there was like a 2-hour wait all day long for those pressed pennies. That was nuts to see.
That's crazy.
But it's funny though, because those pressed penny machines were still there the next day.
yeah.
No why, no way. No nothing.
Well, it's the same for like popcorn buckets when they first are released.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was like that 6-hour wait for Figment
For a
Pop.
Figment popcorn bucket, crazy. It's just like, why?
that popcorn was like, it blew my imagination.
All right, JF, you got any? Japheth, you got any?
I've got being on the wrong side of the parade.
Oh yeah,
You're on
going up
the tomorrow
The
at
t-
Disneyland.
When you're stuck in
You're
Tomorrowland
stuck
during
in
a parade.
Tomorrowland, and you're just like,
And there's no way around.
Stuck.
Your choice is to go up towards Small World or down Main Street,
It was-
depending on
and
which
you're-
end of the
and you're
parade it is.
pushing through like a mess.
Yeah, I always got stuck when it was like Paint the Night parade.
That or you wait at the Tomorrowland train station.
and hope the train comes.
Oh, the board. Oh, I'm full.
I know. There's only 3 people at the station and there was no room for us.
Sorry, train's shutting down. Yeah, I hate being on the
Yeah.
road. That's the worst when you're just like, I'm stuck. All right, let's do Buzz.
Overhearing like bad facts that people mention like in the park or bad recommendations in the park.
I hate it when cast
Actually, I
members-
think that's hilarious. I listen to him be like, your day's gonna suck.
I heard this on this podcast, the Matterhorn Yodelers. It's got to be true. Captain Hook is French.
That's a callback to,
Yeah.
what was it, our Disney online quiz episode?
Yes.
It was like our 4th episode that day, and I was like, yeah, he's French. Why not?
And we're like,
not
really? Is he?
French.
We're like, I don't know. That was good.
Yeah, that it's always just like you hear people like, and it's always like the confident person in the group that you're over listening to, and they're like, "Oh, did you know?" And you're like, "No, that's completely
The
wrong."
Disney know-it-all, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to hold myself back when somebody was like telling me like, oh, I want to go to Japan and because they've got a Kingdom Hearts attraction. I'm all like,
No, they don't.
Nope.
Hey, can I save you a $3,000
Right,
plane ticket
right.
and a huge disappointment? They don't.
they don't. They had like a limited time hotel room experience, but that was about it.
Yeah. Okay. Any last ones we got? Oh, I've got one. It's with Disney vloggers or Disney YouTubers where they do concrete updates. I do not care about the concrete updates.
I actually had an old work buddy that went to Paris, Disneyland, and half his pictures were of the cracked sidewalk.
What?
He was a diehard fan. Like, he loved theme parks, and he became a manager pretty quickly. He worked himself up from college program. But yeah, he's one of those, like, I was like, what's up with this? He's like, yeah, there's cracks all throughout. It's just, oh, it's falling apart. I was like, okay. How was the other experiences of being in Paris?
Yeah, there are those diehard Disney fans that love to watch the status of Disney concrete, and I'm just like, it's concrete, people. Let's move on.
They
That-
watched the
they're
grass
just
grow.
they're just that next level of Disney fan, which
Yeah.
I understand their point of view. I'm not at that point where I'm all like, the concrete has to be perfect.
Or they moved the trash can.
I'm a Mark Hamill fan when it comes to this, where he just like, you nerd, like, get a life. You know, like, that's my thoughts. Like, there's a point of taking it too far.
I agree. Like, is there a point where like correction should be made? Yes. Is there a point where you take it too far? Yes. There is a fine line where, like, for example, there was a recent complaint about how the new Tron ride that hasn't even opened yet is already dirty on the outside. That's a valid complaint. You should probably get that cleaned up before you open
But
the
it will be,
attraction.
like, it's not open yet. It's like me complaining about my house being built and like, the bathtub's dirty. And it's like, well, it's not done yet.
Well, it was the same thing. Like, Space Mountain was in the same state as well, because dirty Space Mountain is not a pleasant thing to look at.
No.
A brown Space Mountain. You want to see that thing
White.
majestic,
Majestic.
not green and copper.
Like it was.
98 Disneyland Space
Yeah.
Mountain. That was weird.
Are there any lines in the Disney park, like certain attractions that like you see a certain length and you're just like, gross? For me, Peter Pan. Anytime I see Peter Pan and I see the long line, I'm like, gross. No, that's a big ick for me.
Yeah, like there's definitely certain attractions where, like, depending on where I see the line, I'm all like, pass.
Extended queue for Star Tours.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Totally.
When they open up that bay door room, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no way, it's never worth it.
Yeah, extended queue for that one. That one's a big one.
For
Like,
me, Pirates, when it gets on the bridge.
I don't mind that. Because I know it
moves.
moves.
Yeah.
Because there's no fast pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's like, honestly, like, even if it's on the bridge, that's still only a 30-minute wait.
as long as the cast member's able to manage the queue.
Yep.
Because that's my other ick, is line management is not being done in critical points like at Pirates, or where it's bleeding out into the walkway and guests are so confused and people are standing in places where they're like, oh no man, I'm just eating a churro. Oh, the line's like way over there, and then you're just like, no dude, I'm gonna punch you in the face, you know.
Whoa.
You know, there's nothing worse than
Yeah.
standing behind someone and going, oh, this is the line, and you're just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would say one queue that is a major ick for me is the Indiana Jones queue.
Yeah.
Because you don't get to enjoy it like you used to.
yeah, you walk right through it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get a chance to, like, stop, enjoy it, look around.
It is the best queue.
It is. Well, it was.
What beats it now for you?
I
I think we talked about it, but I just need a refresher.
So I think the new just opened, the new Mickey Mouse ride at Toontown.
Okay.
Oh, I saw the queue for that
Oh.
of pictures.
Fantastic. I think it's
I
gonna
just
be the
watched
best
it last
queue.
night with Father Yodeler, and I was all like, oh, I'm so like I was so deterred by. I get it's good theming and stuff, but it was just like I felt like it was in Monsters Inc. for a bit, like just.
Oh.
And I was like, it keeps going, and then you have like this false, like, oh, we're gonna turn the corner, and there's another room, and I was like, oh, I hate this already.
Well, it's they did that because they know that it's going to be a busy.
It is gonna be busy.
It's going to be a big E or D ticket attraction for Toontown, which is
Yeah.
needed.
it's needed, but I was just like, just watching the queue going through it, I was getting like, ugh, I don't like that. I'm getting flashbacks of Roger Rabbit where
That's true.
you're just like, oh, we're almost there. Oh no, here we are.
The Roger Rabbit
The
one
Roger Rabbit
is
queue
bad.
is the worst.
That's a pretty bad
That's a
ick.
bit.
If
I
I
Themed well, like you feel like you're getting immersed in it, but it tricks you thinking like, oh, we're just around the corner, and you're like, no, we're not.
It's
We've
like
got
the
another row,
never-ending line. It's just like fast pass all the way on that one.
or just avoid it.
Yeah.
But I think the Mickey Mouse queue is going to be really good for photo ops and things like. So like it's a little interactive.
I think it's good for little kids.
It's be
'Cause
good
it's
for little. I think it's good for all ages because
We'll
it
see.
literally speaks
Yeah.
to anyone who was anyone who's a fan of Mickey Mouse. Your Mickey Mouse, your version of Mickey Mouse is
Is there.
represented in the queue. Whether you're, Steamboat Willie Mickey or your Mickey Mouse Club Mickey, it's your Mickey is present there, and so like I feel like that's gonna be the best queue. But
We'll see until we stand in it, and we're gonna be like, is this like? I like the Snow White queue, Snow White and
Oh,
Seven
at
Dwarfs Mine
7
Cart.
Mine Train? Yeah.
The
that
Mine
one's
Train one.
That one's nice.
I like that one. But going back to Indiana Jones, it's just it gets you in the mood,
Right.
and now you're just like running through it. And Indiana
now-
Jones doesn't just run through booby traps and stuff like that.
and in the the movie room, the projector room,
Yeah.
they only play the safety spiel now.
Oh
They
no!
don't
Yeah.
play like the headline news things. And no, it's just the same. So if you're stuck in that room, you're listening to that solid telling you to buckle your seatbelts like 20 times.
don't
as
see-
you're zipping.
You don't have the
Ugh.
the mentor turning into like the skeleton.
Right. Like, yeah, it's just kind of all like,
Yeah, that line is just turned into just how do we get this more
Pump it.
efficient? Yeah,
Pump them through.
for sure.
because they couldn't figure out how to do Fast Pass properly for that queue because that attraction opened before Fast Pass.
It was right before.
It was right
Yeah.
before.
And they're not changing that queue. It's
No.
The only way you could do it is maybe make Fast Pass go through the exit.
or you create like a bridge that goes over. That's Fast Pass.
Goes over the train
It
tracks.
goes over
Much
the-
money.
I would say, I think probably the best solution for Fast Pass for Indiana Jones is make them go through the exit.
I think that would be the most efficient way.
That way you can like fill that queue up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And that way, like, you don't get intimidated. Because I would rather be inside the queue waiting than outside the queue waiting in that outdoor. Oh,
I agree.
hate that. Ugh,
Yeah.
it's miserable.
Any last icks before?
Guests that abuse the 88 pass.
Oh, absolutely.
Either they acquired it illegally or the ones that want special treatment. Like they want fair and equal treatment, but they want preferential treatment because their situation's better.
Yes.
And that's that. And I imagine it's changed over the last 10 years since it's been brought into light where people would buy people to be their guests with an 88
Like
pass.
you'll hear it in the lines where they've got one person in a wheelchair and it's like a party of 30.
Yeah.
Just like abusing it. And it's just like, come on now.
Yeah. The guests that argue with the cast members.
Just any guest being rude to cast members.
Recently, it's just the amount of fighting and violence in the parks is ridiculous. It's like, I swear it's like every week there's another story. Like there's the story of the Disney Vacation Club member who totally hit a cast member at the resort, not at his home resort, and he can still go there because he owns
That's funny.
He owns.
He should have been. They should have just like, nope.
Yeah.
You've lost all privileges. I mean, assaulting anybody
That's,
Right.
should get
There
you
should
banned.
be consequences. Like, there should have
And so
been
I'm sure
charges.
by the
The
time
consequence
this,
was the cast member got fired.
Yeah, the
I
cast
guarantee
member
you they
got fired. Or the cast member's like, I'm done with this. I'm out.
yeah. So I mean, as of the time of the recording, nothing's happened with the guy. But like when I heard that, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, and there's always like new fights at the boat at the Magic Kingdom ferry.
Ugh.
Like,
It's
Yeah.
you can feel the tension.
The
like
ferry is so bad. If I can avoid the ferry, I will. Because, like, you can jump on the TCC, and if they have buses available, you just take a bus.
or what you do is you take the resort boats
Yeah.
over to, like, you go to, like, the Grand Floridian or something like that, where you just get on that resort loop all the way back to the TTC. And, like, you avoid that monorail station.
Mom and Dad did that when we stayed at the
Yeah.
cabins.
Yeah. That was nice. Yeah. Just leaving the park is a mess.
Magic
Guests
Kingdom, yeah.
treating cast members is terrible. So for those that
Be
are
kind.
I've got one more.
Yeah.
Singing teenage travel groups from South America.
Singing,
I've gotten
cheerleaders.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the tour groups for sure.
They are pretty
It's
bad.
It's like
groups.
anytime I saw a tour group go in one attraction, I go, I'm going to a different attraction.
I got in a fight because of one of those like teenage
Really?
girls. Yeah, we're walking by in Epcot and they were out of their group and the girls were like, "Oh, hi." And who I was with at the time was all like, "Who are they?" And I was all like, "I don't know. They're teenage, troublemakers.
Yeah.
They're pure chaos." Like, I was like, "It's nobody." And she's like, "Well, they seem to know you." And I was all
Oh
like,
my
"Did they say
gosh.
my name?" That's a great indicator if someone knows me.
Yeah.
It's not the easiest. So, yeah, they're like, Hafit, Hafit. No. So it's one of those things that then I've seen them terrorize, like they've like tackled or chased like character performers.
I've
Yes.
been borderline harassed by school groups. It's like it's annoying when it happens, and it's frustrating.
And they bust out in a song, and like the last thing you want to do is just be in a queue. You kind of want to be in your own bubble when you're in the queue. Just like, don't talk to me, don't look at me. We'll make it through this.
Right, like
But then they're all like, let's clap and sing. And you're just like, I don't know.
No.
No one. I've never seen anyone going, oh, well, they brought so much life to the queue. It was such a great experience. Never. Everyone sits
Yeah.
there and just like, oh, I hate my life. I'm already in the queue. And I just, no.
yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I got one last one.
All right.
Not being happy at the Disney parks.
Oh, for sure.
People that whine and complain and like just
even like
I don't know what this whole podcast is about, whine and complain, but that's outside of the park.
Yeah.
Right.
But when you're in there, just keep it inside.
I hate when they're like whiny and stuff like early on in the day. Like I can understand like end of the day, like you're tired, you're hungry, you just want to like escape from people. But like right when you start your vacation, like the one lady that I checked in when I was at Animal Kingdom Lodge, and she's like, "Disney's not a vacation," and I'm like, "Then why are you here?"
I can see where someone can say it's not a vacation.
But like she was so negative.
Yeah, there's just people that complain about how much money they spent and like it's not worth this. And it's just like, then leave.
Right.
At any point, you could leave and go, I wasn't happy with this. Can I get my money back?
Right.
Or,
I mean,
or
Disney kind of created this environment. You do not have to spend your money here.
Right.
yeah, there's no obligation. Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to go. No, just if you're unhappy, just leave.
Yep.
And if you're unhappy that you're not getting your experience, then just leave that experience. Just don't sit and stew. I had one lady scream and yell at me because she couldn't see the fireworks that she drove 8 miles to come see. In my mind, I'm
8
not 8 miles, 8 hours. Excuse me, 8 hours. Yeah, right.
You had to drive 8 miles to see the fireworks.
And I was like, no, it was 8 hours. She was like, I'm from Kentucky. And I'm all like, and I'm from Phoenix. Like, I remember it was just 4th of July. And I just remember like, and I'm from Phoenix. And she was just like, you think this is funny? And I'm all like, well, it sure isn't fun, you know? And we were just going back. It was the most ruthless I've ever been to a guest. And because I wouldn't let them stand in the emergency walkway. Like, that's the only day where you'll see, well, Christmas too, you'll see police officers
Yeah.
in the walkways. Like Orange County
Yeah.
police ready to arrest people. They're like, sir, can I-" they're like, no, they're like, no. They're like,
Right.
nope, I'm not here for you. Get behind that line. And it's just, yeah, it's just take what you can get. If you don't get what you, like, it doesn't hurt to ask sometimes.
Yeah.
But if you're asking to like get favor,
Nope.
No.
no, don't. Just ask going, hey, is this the best way right here? Or what are my other options? And cast members will let you know, and they'll be friendly about it. But don't expect that you're going to get any preference.
Special
'Cause-
seating, last
no.
minute. No, never.
No. So be happy.
Yeah.
Just suck it up and create a podcast and complain about it in a quick
Exactly.
episode.
No, I mean, when you go to the Disney parks, there's so many great moments, but then there are those negative moments and the moments that give you the icks.
But don't let that one moment ruin the whole day of
Yeah.
fun. Just like look at your kid and like see their expression when they see Mickey Mouse or something, and that will just like shift your mood. Like that's what you're really there for.
Yeah, and then if you're still not happy with your experience, then obviously theme parks are not your type of vacation.
Yeah.
And you just move on from that. But let others enjoy it as well.
I think we need to do a positive one. I know we kind of did one,
Yeah.
a positive episode, but I think we might need to revisit that one again.
Yeah, for sure. We'll
We've
do
been
that.
we've been very negative as of late. I want to be a little bit more positive.
We do love Disney.
But we are those Disney adults that have opinions about everything.
And I have a feeling our next episode we're going to record here, we're going to be pretty negative about too. So.
I don't know. Maybe on your side.
I would be. I think we're gonna be just analyzing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So,
stay tuned for our next episode where we see if we stay positive or negative.
Who peed in their Cheerios this morning?
all right. Well, those are our Disney icks. What are some of your Disney icks that maybe we didn't mention? Let us know in the comments. We're on Facebook, Instagram. You can email us at matterhornyodlers@gmail.com. But with that being said, have a magical day.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the Matterhorn Yodelers. Please remember before your bobsled comes to a complete stop to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And remember,
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.